If you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you've been getting, living the way you've been living, hurting the way you've been hurting, frustrated, angry, and disillusioned. That's not how you want to live your life. That's repetitious ridiculousness.
This is Mindset with your host, inspirational speaker and author, Jerome Bowser.
Hello, everyone. Today's podcast is for those who are prepared to elevate their life. If you've been feeling stuck, uninspired, or dissatisfied with where you're at, then this episode is tailored for you. It's time to shake things up, make real challenges, and manifest the life you've always desired. With powerful insights, strategies, and actionable steps, we'll lead you on a journey towards transformation and self-discovery. So, buckle up and be prepared to delve deep into your mindset, break free from limitations, and become the best version of yourself. This podcast is your path to a fresh start. Are you ready to embrace it? All right, because we're going to talk about living your next level life. Every man and every woman has a path of life on which they must travel on. And on that path, there is a specific journey which each person must experience. And while walking on that path, you will be challenged. Now know this. The challenge is the experience of life. But don't be alarmed. Everything you need to be successful is already inside of you. You just need to bring it out. Come on now, you got this. For the purpose of an example, let's use our imagination just for a moment. Imagine you're playing a game. Maybe it's a video game, like one of those karate things. Challenges are like those tricky parts that make the game more fun. They might seem hard at first, but once you overcome them, you feel super proud and strong. Just like how beating a tough level in a game unlocks new ones, facing challenges helps you learn new things and get better at stuff. You might even discover hidden talents you never knew existed. So next time a challenge comes your way, remember, it's a chance to grow and become even more awesome. Now, while being challenged, you need to have a strong support system to see you through successfully, because the challenge is the catalyst to take your life to the next level. If you want that next level life, that champagne life, that diamond life, there are some things which are necessary to eliminate so that new things can be put in place. First and foremost, I want to be clear that for me, discovering Jesus and his message was the catalyst for my life changing. But what I learned from that comes from the Bible scripture in James 2:18. Faith without works is dead, which means that faith alone is not enough if it isn't accompanied by action. This led me to the discovery of what I call the 5 Ds. It was faith and the 5D formula which brought me out of the darkness I lived in for so long. I want to share each of these with you with a brief explanation of application. So, I've been alive for a long time now, and let me tell you, it hasn't all been rainbows and sunshine. For almost 3 decades, I lived a destructive, non-productive life. But then I came in contact with Jesus, and he totally changed everything for me. I mean, I read this verse in the Bible that said faith without works is dead. And basically it means that just believing in something isn't enough. You actually have to do something with it and about it. And so years later, while reviewing those gut-wrenching years, I noticed a pattern which progressively changed everything for me. And that's when I discovered what I now call the 5 Ds. The 5 Ds are decision, detachment, discipline, determination, and deliverance. They are like the keys to turning your life around. They kind of work like this. First, you have to make a decision that you want to change. Then, you need to detach yourself from all the negative stuff holding you back. Next comes discipline. You have to stick to your goals no matter what. Determination is a super important thing too, because you can't give up when things get tough. And finally, you got to deliver on your promises to yourself. These actions, mixed with faith and a belief in myself, is what worked for me. I am confident this formula will help you reach your goals, living your next level life. Allow me to share a little more about each of these, individually, one by one. Let's start with decision. Before you can do anything else, you must make the decision that you are finished living the way you have lived up to this point, and that it's time for complete change. Now, this is essential. If you find yourself living someone else's life, not your own, you must make the decision to change that narrative and move forward. What do I mean by someone else's life? That might mean that you have permitted or given permission for someone else to either dictate what they think you should be or do, or you allowed another person to be a part of your life, and once they got in, they destroyed you from the inside out. In a case like that, you have to make a decision about handling your own life. Take back your life. Secondly, we're talking about detachment. There are some things you're going to have to sacrifice, be detached from, like TV time. That might seem simple, but TV, while it is entertaining, is one of the greatest thieves of your time. Time is the most valuable asset of your life, and it's precious. So it's important to use it wisely to achieve your goals. You'll also may have to sacrifice time with some of your friends. In fact, you'll discover that once you are embarking on this journey, many of your friends will not be able to walk with you. Also, as a word to the wise, it is really smart to don't tell everyone what you're attempting to accomplish. Why? Well, all I'm going to say is that you'd be surprised at how many negative responses you might get about you trying to succeed, you trying to live a better life, you trying to reach your goals from some of your so-called friends. It will surprise you. Next, we're going to talk quickly about discipline. It is imperative that you create a new mindset, which includes changing your attitude about yourself, removing negative thoughts and speech, and developing new habits. Why? Because it's the assistant of the old habits that got you here. To keep your eyes on the prize, you're going to have to change your negative friends. You must be willing to change, adapt, recreate, and then live like you own it. The bottom line is you're creating a new person. And in doing that, everything you ever knew, especially those things that have been holding you back, must go. Not too long ago, my brother had passed away, and I ended up with a lot of his possessions. A couple of his possessions were some old laptop computers he had. Now, they were old, but they worked to the degree. They would operate. I can get certain things, but there were other things I couldn't do because he never updated them. So I figured, these are my brother's old laptops. There's a couple of things that I wanted to hold on in memory of him. So I made the decision that I was going to do something about those laptops. So I decided to change the operating system from what it was to something newer. I got a hold of some Linux material, and I began to learn how to exchange the operating system. You have to first strip the previous system before you can install the new system. Then next you have to know how to install the next system and what else is necessary to support the download for the system to be applied. There was language that I was not familiar with, things I had to look up, research I had to do, but lo and behold, I eventually got that Linux operating system to download and upload into my brother's old computer, and it made his laptop like a brand new computer. I bring this out because one of the things you must take inventory of is this. You need to answer the question, what operating system are you working with? Are you working with an efficient, outdated system? Or is it something else going on in your life that you're holding on to? Perhaps you think it's time for an upgrade. Or are you content with the system you're working with? Your old operating system got you where you are right now. How's that working out for you? I want to tell you something about a law that many people don't pay attention to. There is a law that's called the law of repetition. The application of this law can work both negatively or positively. It's all a matter of how you apply it. For an example, if you're going to keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting, living the way you've been living, hurting the way you've been hurting, frustrated, angry, and disillusioned. That's not how you want to live your life. That's repetitious ridiculousness. Something's got to change, and it's got to change right now. Your next level life happens when you change you. So, when you apply the law of repetition in the positive mode, you get a positive set of results. Now, your reverse truth becomes your new truth. When you make positive adjustments to yourself, that's when your life gets even better. By replacing and repeating positive actions over and over, you'll start seeing positive outcomes. Your old beliefs will be replaced with new and better ones. But let it be known, you absolutely have to be ready to change that old operating system. The challenge here is removing everything that you're familiar with, much like my brother's old laptop, in order for you to start brand new. Are you prepared to function at the best version of yourself? Can you stand being the best you know you can be? Once you change your operating system, your everything is enhanced. You're on point, you're quicker, and you're processing life much better. Now, I don't know who or what you believe in or are inspired by, but I can speak for myself. I've found Jesus to be the operating system for life. And yeah, I have some more news for you too. Jesus has scheduled you for an operating system update. And that update allows you to operate your life using the same system he operates on. All you have to do is ask. That's it. Come on now. We're talking next level living here. The next thing I want to talk to you about is determination. And I want to tell you a little story. One day, and this is true by the way, I was waiting to cross a busy street when I noticed this fuzzy looking caterpillar navigating his way through